May 1945. The war in Europe is over. Across the continent, the guns fall silent, the radios go quiet, and one of the most powerful air forces in history simply ceases to exist. The Luftwaffe, once feared, once dominant, collapses not with a final battle, but with abandonment. From Norway to Austria, from Denmark to Czechoslovakia, German aircraft sit motionless on cracked runways and grass airfields. Fighters, bombers, transports, trainers, jets, prototypes. Thousands of machines left exactly where the war stopped them. Some are pristine. Others are scarred by bombing, stripped of parts, or frozen mid-assembly inside hidden factories. Fuel is gone. Orders no longer arrive. Command structures have dissolved. By the time Germany formally surrenders on May 8, 1945, the Luftwaffe is no longer an air force. It is a scattered collection of metal, technology, and unanswered questions. And almost immediately, a new war begins, a silent one, not fought with bombs or bullets, but with intelligence teams, transport ships, and classified reports. The race to seize Germany's aviation secrets is underway. In northern Germany, Allied forces discover airfields packed with abandoned aircraft. At Flensburg and Lübeck, rows of fighters and bombers stand untouched. In Denmark, Grove Airfield holds jet aircraft and late-war designs that never saw combat. Further south, in Prague and Vienna, hangars are filled with Messerschmitts, Heinkels, and half-finished experimental machines. But the most shocking discoveries lie at Rechlin, the Luftwaffe's primary test and evaluation center. Here, Allied investigators uncover wind tunnel models, prototype airframes, experimental weapons, and technical documents that reveal just how far German aviation research had progressed. Jet bombers, rocket interceptors, swept-wing designs years ahead of anything in Allied service. The Allies are stunned, not by what Germany flew during the war, but by what it almost flew. By May 1945, the Luftwaffe's administrative system has collapsed completely. Units surrender independently. Ground crews abandon posts without instruction. Maintenance logs are incomplete or destroyed. Fuel depots are empty. Spare parts are scattered or missing. To prevent chaos, escape attempts, or rogue flights, the Allied Control Commission issues immediate orders. All German aircraft are grounded. No German pilot may fly without explicit Allied authorization. Airfields become locked time capsules, but the Allies face a critical decision. What should be preserved and what must be destroyed? Some officers argue that intact German aircraft pose a security risk. Others see them as a once-in-a-generation intelligence opportunity. The debate doesn't last long. The technology is too valuable. The United States moves first. On May 9, 1945, just one day after Germany's surrender, American intelligence launches Operation LUSTY, short for Luftwaffe Secret Technology. The operation is led by Colonel Harold Watson, a hard-driving officer with a clear mission: capture Germany's most advanced aircraft before anyone else can. Watson's teams fan out across Germany, Austria, and Czechoslovakia. They seize airfields, factories, underground tunnels, and research centers. At Lechfeld, they secure intact Messerschmitt Me-262 jet fighters. At other locations, they find Arado Ar 234 jet bombers, the world's first operational jet bombers. Aircraft deemed valuable are flown under Allied control or dismantled on the spot. Engines, wings, and fuselages are packed into crates and shipped across the Atlantic. Their destination, Wright Field, Ohio, the heart of American aviation research, at Freeman Field in Indiana. Evaluation units catalog every system. Engines are stripped. Instruments are measured. Armament is examined. Nothing is overlooked. A select group of American pilots, soon nicknamed Watson's Whizzers, are authorized to fly captured jets. Their test flights provide the U.S. Army Air Forces with first-hand experience of high-speed jet performance, compressibility, and handling at the edge of known aerodynamics. Their reports quietly reshape American aircraft development. Britain is not idle. The Royal Air Force launches Operation Surgeon, focusing not just on machines, but on minds. British teams move into Fassberg, Schleswig, Husum, and Rechlin, interviewing German engineers, designers, and technicians. At RAF Farnborough, captured aircraft are flown and evaluated by elite test pilots. Among them is Captain Eric Winkle Brown, who quickly recognizes both the brilliance and limitations of German jet design. The British take special interest in the Heinkel HE-162, a lightweight jet interceptor built under extreme wartime pressure. Cheap, fast, and dangerous, it offers lessons in what happens when advanced technology meets desperation. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union acts with equal urgency. Red Army trophy brigades sweep through eastern Germany, Poland, and Czechoslovakia. Entire factories are seized. Tooling equipment, blueprints, and skilled workers are loaded onto trains heading east. At the Avia Works in Prague and production lines in Moravia, Soviet forces capture Bf-109 assembly facilities and jet components. Aircraft are reassembled near Moscow and Leningrad, where Soviet pilots test German designs firsthand. The findings influence early Soviet jets more than Moscow will ever publicly admit. Competition soon emerges among the Allies. Who controls which airfield? Who claims which prototype? In some areas, American and Soviet forces arrive only days apart. The Allied Control Council attempts coordination, but mistrust is already visible. The Cold War is beginning, quietly, among aircraft hangars and technical reports. German personnel become unwilling participants in this race. Engineers explain systems. Mechanics demonstrate maintenance procedures. Pilots describe flight characteristics, sometimes under supervision, sometimes under pressure. Every detail is documented. Photographs, manuals, test data before decisions are made. By late 1946, the intelligence phase is over. The most valuable aircraft have been removed. The rest are marked for elimination. The order is absolute. Germany will retain no military aviation capability. Between 1945 and 1948, airfields across Europe are transformed into scrapyards. At Flensburg, Grove, Lübeck-Blankensee, and Terrawitz, Allied crews dismantle thousands of aircraft. Fighters are crushed. Bombers are cut apart. Jets, once symbols of future warfare, are broken down for metal. Some airframes are burned in pits. Others are dumped at sea. Along the North Sea coast, barges carry aircraft remains to deep water and push them overboard. Many of those wrecks still lie undisturbed beneath the waves. Even aircraft with civilian potential are not spared. Junkers Ju-52 transports are evaluated individually. A few are converted for limited transport use, but most are scrapped for consistency. Economic reality drives the destruction. Europe needs metal. Aluminum from wings becomes infrastructure. Steel from fuselages becomes machinery. Scrapping aircraft provides jobs in a shattered economy. History is not a priority. Stability is. By 1948, the Luftwaffe is gone. Not defeated, not retired, but erased. Yet some German aircraft survive, briefly, under foreign flags. In Czechoslovakia, engineers assemble leftover components into operational fighters. The result is the Avia S-199, difficult, unstable, but usable. These aircraft later become Israel's first combat fighters in 1948. Spain continues producing modified Bf-109 derivatives well into the 1950s. Norway operates captured trainers and fighters during its post-war rebuilding phase. France flies Ju-52 transports under the name Toucan in colonial service, but spare parts run out. Maintenance becomes impossible. One by one, these aircraft are retired. When West Germany forms the Bundesluftwaffe in 1956, none of these machines return. The new Air Force flies Allied jets. The past is deliberately left behind. Only decades later does preservation begin. Museum curators recover wrecks from lakes, forests, and crash sites. Many surviving aircraft are composites, rebuilt from multiple airframes to create a single display. Today, only a handful of original Luftwaffe aircraft exist worldwide. A few Me-262s, a scattering of Bf-109s and FW-190s, one Arado Ar-234. They sit silent in museums, fragments of a force that once dominated the skies. The rest, thousands upon thousands, vanished within 3 years of the war's end. Not in battle, not in flames, but under cutting torches, scrapyard cranes, and political decisions. The Luftwaffe did not just lose the war, it disappeared. And in its destruction, it quietly shaped the future of aviation for everyone who came after.